Did you know that the reason you probably don't have very much money is because of your budget? And I'm not talking about because you don't have a budget. I'm talking about the way you budget. So if you look here at this spreadsheet, this is what we would consider a traditional budget. These are terrible. See, I love Microsoft Excel. I teach Excel to professionals, and I will never recommend you having a budget like this. Even a budget in Mint that automates all your credit card transactions. It is not the way that you're going to get ahead. The reason why, anything that requires you to do any work, make any decisions, is just not going to work. Now I'm going to share with you the simple way that we were able to create a budget, to automate it, and allowed us to save like $50,000 in 2 years so I could quit my job. All right, so let's move over here. I'm going to go to Paint. Now I want to share with you, and this all comes from an awesome book. Actually, I'm going to show it to you. Let's just go to, it's called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Now this is like a super gimmicky looking book, but trust me, I've spent years in my car going over finance books. I listened to things that were like from books from Warren Buffett. I listened to like book called Security Analysis, The Intelligent Investor. I listened to every finance book that I could find on either YouTube or on Overdrive in my public library. I've gone through Dave Ramsey. I went through his course when I was 18 years old and learned about his principles. When I found this book, like this is like the most practical finance book for our age. There's also another similar book. I think it's called The Automatic Millionaire. I listened to this book. I think it's an older book that's got that very similar principles. And the whole idea behind this is that we need to create systems that you don't have to think about all the time, that will automatically save and automatically invest for you. All right. So this is the system that we created. So here, if you look here on this screen, I'm going to just make it a little bigger. I went to work. Let's see. So let me type this here. So I went to work for 40 plus hours a week, and that money, so every 2 weeks, that money came into my bank account. All right. Now, as soon as that money came into that checking account, it automatically, so we say it comes on the 1st and the 16th of the month. As soon as that money comes into that account, we automatically first created a system to where this money is automatically goes and pays my mortgage. Okay, so that would be the first thing that it does. It goes and pays my mortgage. Then it will pay my utilities. So I would go to my utility company. I had them pull the money out either on the 2nd or the 17th after that money was deposited. Okay, it would go to utilities. Let's see, what else would it automatically do? I think this is moving on to this next place. And then we created a bank account. We're using a place called Ally Bank. And we have all these accounts for like our insurance, what else? Vacation, Christmas, gifts like birthdays, investing. All right. So automatically every month, money would be filtered in here into every single account. I never had to touch it. I only had to make a decision once on how much money was going to be allocated into all these accounts. And if you were to look here, we have a ton of accounts here. And in Ally Bank, it's super easy. It's purely an online bank, so you can't go deposit cash, but it takes 5 minutes and you can name an account. You can add a nickname to an account. So if all of a sudden I want to go to Disneyland next year, I can go in there and I can create an account called Disneyland, and that's an account with its own accounting name, like a account number that has the nickname Disneyland, and I can start allocating automatically money into that. So I'm putting money into all these accounts automatically. The only decision I have to make is once. I have to make the decision, how much money do I allocate into each account? All right. At first, we weren't putting hardly any into here. Maybe it would be like $100 a month. But as I got a raise, as I got bonuses, I only had to make the decision once. The only decision I made when I got a raise was, I'm not increasing anything else. All these are going to stay the same. The only thing that I'm going to increase is my investing. So say I make an extra $5,000 or $10,000 a year, and I break that into every month. I figure out what is that raise every month that I'm going to get, and I will go into my Ally Bank. I'll go into my investing account, and I will modify my automatic deposits from my checking account here. I'll modify what that amount is, and increase it to whatever my raise was. And so I'm living, and I'm going to erase that. I'm now living. My standard of living hasn't changed at all, and all my bonus and my increase in earning is going to my investing account. And this account is all that I use for. So now I can invest in the stock market with this money. I can invest in real estate. I can invest in business. And that's what I ended up doing. I quit my job and I used the money that was in my investment account to start my business and to help me float. So when I have enough time to be able to replace my income. Because when I quit my job, I think we were only maybe making like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. It wasn't enough to cover all of our expenses. But because I had automated my budget to automatically put money in my investing account, it just grew for me. I didn't have to worry about anything. The only thing that you have to worry about when you create a system like this, and I highly recommend that you go read the book from Ramit Sethi. I mean, you could even find it on YouTube, but I would support him. Buy the book. It is like the best book you can buy on personal finance. So here in your checking account, what we actually use is our credit card. We would spend this for groceries and like incidentals like clothing and things, gas. And the only thing that we had to do was make sure that this account here stayed below a certain threshold. So say we had $1,000 a month for like gas, clothing, all that stuff. The only thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that this account stays below, so that's less than, say, $1,000 or whatever you set that threshold to. That's the only thing that you have to look at. And now if you can do that, everything else is taken care of. You're automatically saving for retirement. You're automatically investing. You have car insurance. Like we'd pay our car insurance every 6 months. You already have money saved for Christmas, for vacations. It's all doing that in the background. You don't have to make the decision but once. And when you can do that, it can speed up your ability to save money. So going back here, we would just try to keep less than $1,000, or I don't remember what the exact number was on our credit card, and we would keep that much money in our checking account plus some buffer, say like $500, just in case something weird happens and we need. I just don't want my checking account to hit zero or to get an over withdrawal, so I would always keep like a buffer in there. And the only thing that you have to do is you just have to manage this one account. For us, it was our credit card. It had to stay below a certain threshold. And if we did that, everything else was taken care of. I could just periodically log into my Ally account and look at my investing, and it just grows and it grows and it grows. And the only thing that I cared about was if this overall account was growing. I never had to like budget. I never had to think about putting money anywhere. It was already just set up for me. And the last thing that you can do under investing, and this is what I also had done, is with my checking account, once you're investing, you can either do it through your checking account or through like an investing account. You can automatically set up a Roth IRA to pull out every month. So I go with Fidelity. I have it set up that Fidelity will automatically every month go into my investing account in Ally and pull a little bit of money into my Roth IRA or my IRA or whatever it is. That way I can be saving for my future. I can have everything that I need for like day-to-day, like car insurance and all of that stuff, and all of it's being taken care of. The system just works for you. And this is like a really fast explanation of that. But if you're doing a manual budget where all of your money, say most Americans, all of their money is here in their bank account. And they say you have $40,000 in one account, and it's like, oh, hey, I want to go on a trip. Oh yeah, I have $40,000. Sure, let's go do it. But in actuality, you don't have $40,000 to go on a trip. All that money should be allocated somewhere else. And really, your vacation, you may not have any money in there. And for me, the only thing that I cared about growing was my investing account, because that's my future account. That's my freedom account. That's what I really wanted to grow. So anyway, that's like a high-level overview of the system that we created. Again, I highly recommend that you go read the book from Ramit Sethi. It's going to open your eyes on how you can automate your savings. Anyway, I hope you find this useful. My son Jesse, he's just walking into the room right now, so I think it's time to close this video. Do you want to come say hi?
Hi.
I don't know if you even saw him, but anyway, I hope you find this useful. If you like this content, the only thing I'm asking is you like and you subscribe and share it with somebody who might need it. Anyway, and I will talk to you on the next one.